Remember that?
Yeah, that was tough.
The opinions expressed are those of the show's host and not the staff or management of Port St. Lucie Broadcasters. Any reproduction without written consent of WSTU and WPSL is strictly prohibited. Now it's time for Quality of Life Radio, brought to you by WellMed. Here are your hosts, Gary Owen and Tom Bouvier.
Hello and good morning to all of our lovely friends out there listening this morning on this fabulous Florida Tuesday morning. It's March 30th. 2033. Woohoo! Okay, I'm a little ahead of myself.
Yes, you are.
All right, do it again.
Let's go
March
back in
30th,
time 2 years.
2021. And guess who I am? I'm your host, Gary Owen.
And I'm your co-host, Tom Bouvier.
And you are very excited to know that you're listening to the world-famous Quality of Life radio show. And it's proudly sponsored by WellMed and Lot Insurance Services. And we love our sponsors. By the way, we are streaming live on Facebook. So in case you are not on Facebook, I don't know anybody who's not on Facebook, but besides my parents, but if you are on Facebook, you can look us up at the Quality of Life radio show, and you can watch us live there. You can also watch us live streaming on www.wstutv.com. YouTube channel there, and also on the airwaves, WSTU 1450 AM and WPSL 1590 AM. Evan, it's good to have you back and supporting us this morning. We've missed you for the past 18 years. Well, you're looking younger.
I missed you guys too, but I had to take care of baseball. But I'm back and I'm ready to hit a grand slam.
Now you're taking care of us.
You got your baseball fixed. That's why you look all youthful.
That's
and happy.
right.
Take me out to the ballpark.
You look different, Evan. I don't know what it is. Is it are you growing your mustache longer? Okay, there was something different.
Yeah. I'm a little colorful today.
Yes, you are. More ways than one.
I missed you guys.
All right, Tommy, tell us why we are here today.
Gary and all of our listeners, we come here every Tuesday morning to bring relevant content to all of our listeners. And number two, we are here to showcase and support local businesses and business people who are doing business locally, so we can encourage them to, or encourage you to use their services. And number three, we bring education and information regarding insurance practices, policies to help improve your quality of life.
And we're really excited this morning to have our special guest with us. Is it Vivian who's going to be with us this morning? No, Vivian's over there just watching and learning.
Giving you the evil eye, I'm sure.
And Bob Hayek with Financial Independence. And then we're going to share with you also. I found 3 interesting stories this morning around the world. Actually, one's in Arizona. One story is here in Florida. And another one is over in Finland. So interesting story. Stay tuned to that after we get done grilling our guest. And then Tom and I are going to speak to you about some of our life experiences in the insurance world and what's going on, important events and things that you need to know to enhance, improve, and protect your quality of life.
Absolutely. A lot of great updates in the health insurance world, not only with Medicare, but under 65 marketplace plans as well.
Yeah, it's exciting things. And then all the shots, I think, more than a third of the U.S. population now has been vaccinated. So we're starting to see the light, thank God, at the end of the tunnel. And now that I have turned a little bit past 50, I understand that the governor has opened up shots for those of us who are 50 and older. 40. They've gone down to 40. That's how old you are, right? You just turned 42. Right? I got my shot. Yeah, no, you did. Of course, you're always on it, Evan. All right, so Tom, who are we going to welcome this morning? By the way, it's hot in this bloody studio. Thank you. I don't want sweat dripping down on out of my armpits this morning.
Mr. Robert Hayek. How do you?
Hayak.
Hayak from Financial Independence is here with us today to talk about, what are you going to talk about? Well, we want to talk about you and what brought you to the Treasure Coast, what you love about the Treasure Coast, what got you into your business, and what you can offer our listeners today.
First and foremost, where do you hail from?
Port St. Lucie.
Originally from Port St. Lucie?
Well, from this morning.
But not originally.
No, New Jersey.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You look like a New Jersey guy.
New Jersey guy.
Yeah.
Grew up in Hawthorne, New Jersey.
Hawthorne. I love it.
Yeah.
How long have you been down here in Florida?
It'll be 3 years in January.
You're looking at Vivian like,
Just to make sure.
honey, is it 3 or 30?
Yeah, it's 3, right? Yeah, it'll be 3 years.
Awesome. Yep. So how do you like Port St. Lucie and the Treasure Coast?
Love it.
And what do you like best about the Treasure Coast?
Fishing.
Fishing. What do you fish for? Fish?
Largemouth bass. I was going to say that.
You never know, Robert.
Punchline.
You never know.
Yes, fish. Largemouth bass.
Fantastic.
And a freshwater one.
Awesome. Do you have a boat? Do you fish? Yeah.
I got a 120-acre lake in my backyard.
Very, very nice. Do you have a dinghy or?
I have a 2-man puddle jumper.
Very nice. So there's a motor on it even.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And a pontoon.
Wow. Which one do you like, Vivian? Are you a fisher as well? Yeah. Do you outfish him?
Uh-huh.
We want to see some pictures.
That's how you do it. I
we
love
have
it.
pictures.
Yeah.
So before I ask you a couple questions real quick, I wanted to give a shout out to those of my fellow members at the Stewart Martin County Chamber of Commerce. I attended a breakfast meeting this morning over there. So shout out to everybody there. And Skylar gave me this brochure. Skylar Gorman, she is the executive director for the Stewart Air Show. And so for those of you out there who are listening to us this morning, if you're a business owner and you want to sponsor the Salute to Stewart, they've got some sponsorships available. And I guess she gave this to me as a hint for us to Owen Insurance Group to sponsor. So me being an aviator, I think it's probably appropriate. And in supporting the chamber and supporting the Stewart Air Show, we will certainly be a sponsor.
We missed it last year.
Yes, unfortunately.
So sad, but glad it's coming back.
So, Bob, tell us a little bit about your business and what you do, my friend.
Well, Financial Independence LLC helps individuals and business owners eliminate debt. Credit card debt, mortgages, student loans, medical bills, anything you're paying interest to somebody else, we show you how to turn it around and put it back in your bank.
So I like the button on your shirts.
Yeah.
Vivian has it. Stands out clear.
That is the best marketing tool you can imagine.
Yes. Debt. I would also probably go one step further and paint it on your forehead so they could see you coming a mile away. You know, I mean,
I have an appointment for a tattoo.
Or put it on the back. Yeah. So as people
no, they don't think that's a bullseye.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, it's funny. We were standing on a Chick-fil-A line one day, and I'm looking at the menu trying to figure out what I want to eat, and she's elbowing me in the side because the girl behind the counter goes, "Oh, I'd love to be out of debt," and I didn't hear her, and she's trying to get my attention. So finally got the hint, and I said to the girl, "Here's my card. If you're interested, give me a call." She calls me that night. Next day, her and her husband are in my office, and I'm showing her our presentation. We have a 30-minute presentation. It takes an American couple. I walk you through them, Mark and Joyce, and I show you their financial situation, and I show you what we can do for them. As I'm going through, I could see she's tearing up. And I said, "Steph, what's wrong?" She goes, "I never thought I'd see the light at the end of the tunnel." And I said, "I don't understand." She goes, "No, you don't. My next appointment's the bankruptcy attorney." Wow. Never went. We paid off half her debt.
So tell us what that process looks like.
Well, we use a concept that Walt Disney used to build Disney, the Rockefellers used to build their estate. We use a high cash value whole life insurance policy because monies that grow in it grow tax-free and come out income tax-free. So we can go in and out of that policy back and forth. So if somebody's got a credit card, say with a $10,000 balance, we're going to be looking for what we call inefficient dollars. Any monies over and above the minimum payment is what we call inefficient. That's what's going to fund what we call the bank. Okay. So now Once the bank has enough money to pay off that $10,000 balance, we borrow from the policy, we pay off the $10,000. Now their minimum payment, say it was $100, instead of it going to Visa, MasterCard, Discover, we're going to turn it around and bring it back into the policy to pay down the debt in the policy. So by the time they're done with all their debt, all that money they would have paid Visa, MasterCard, or Discover is now in their policy. So as they're getting themselves out of debt, they're also building their own bank.
So it sounds like it's bank on yourself or something like that.
Infinite banking.
Infinite banking, right.
Nelson Nash termed that name years and years ago. He passed away a few years ago, but it's an unbelievable concept, and it works. And it was tweaked by Larry McLean for the use of debt. And it's Your Family Bank is the software that we use.
So the consumer, then, if it's a whole life policy, then basically the consumer has to qualify with health questions and underwriting.
Yes. But if let's say you and your wife, just for argument's sake, and you're uninsurable, we can always use your wife because we're really not there for the death benefit. We're there to build the cash value internally in the policy. So if it's not the husband or wife, maybe a child, somebody that, there's an insurable interest that we can use to do it.
Right. And how long have you been doing this, Bob?
Well, I've been in the industry since 1993.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been around the block a few times.
A few times. Probably more times in the New Jersey block than the Port St. Lucie block.
Actually, I found the program when I moved down to Florida.
Okay.
It was interesting. I was wanting to be sort of semi-retired because my wife's retired and just be an avid bass fisherman. But my office in New Jersey was saying, you got to start networking. So I went on Meetup and I was looking for a networking group and I see Rockstar Networking. I'm like, this is perfect. I'm a retired drummer.
And a rock star.
I might meet somebody I know. That wasn't the case. There's a little guy with a suit and tie on, and he's, I'm here for the Rockstar event. He's like, no, this is the name of the company. We're a networking group. I said, okay. I said, what do you do? He goes, I help individuals get out of student loans. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then I met his father the next month, and they said, you need to meet this guy, Tommy. So I went and met Tommy, and he showed me the program. And the whole time I'm going, he's like, why are you shaking your head? No. I said, you can't do that. He says, why? I said, it's a whole life policy. There's no cash value in the first year. He goes, Bob, I can get cash value out in the next 10 days. In the first 10 days, it's the way the policy's built. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I can actually do, and I was fired up. I can help people get out of debt. I didn't have to sell them anything. I can actually walk into their house, say, I can help you. What are you sending out the back door that you can bring back in? Because there's so many people that are in debt, mortgages, credit cards, student loans, and they'll tell me they're not in debt. I'm like, well, how are you not in debt? I pay my bills. Oh, so if you pay your bills, you're not in debt? No. You pay an interest, you're in debt. So when we can come in and show them how to turn that around, now the monies that they're investing are making real interest rates.
Especially if they're making minimum payments.
Absolutely.
That's infinite debt.
Mm-hmm.
Forever.
Well,
I mean,
even if
but they'll be out of debt in 2040,
24.6 years.
Well, we show them exactly. The software shows them exactly how long it's going to take them out of debt based on how they're doing it and then how we're doing it. And we usually can get them out of debt in 9 years or less, including the mortgage.
So if they have a $500,000 30-year mortgage and debt on top of that, you're able to help them get out of debt in 9 years.
Let me give you one. Landscaper. Big one. 1.3 million in debt. $34,000 a month going out to his creditors. We found $3,000 a month over and above the minimum that he was paying to use to fund the bank. Okay. How fast did we get him out of debt?
9 years?
7 years.
5 years.
3 years.
37 months.
Wow.
Woo!
What was in his bank at the end of that year? Over $500,000. It bought him $1.2 million of death benefit for his two boys that he didn't have. Now you tell me that's a no-brainer.
I think he has sent you a big box of Cuban cigars or a big box of whiskey, or well, if you're not into vices, then he bought you a big, nice lure or a new fishing rod.
She had to go back. My wife didn't like that.
We're some fish. Fish blacks.
Yeah.
Hey,
Good job.
we're at the point of our show where we're going to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to have a few more questions and grill our guest, Robert Hayek, with Financial Independence. And you're listening to the Quality of Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Gary Owen, and the Boov, Tom Bouvier, is my co-host. We hope you're having fun. Stay tuned. Don't touch that dial. We will be right back. Yeah, I told you we'd be right back. It was only a few seconds.
Time goes by so fast on this show.
Tom, it really does. We hear that
We'll be
every
over
time.
here in just a moment.
Yeah, before you know, we'll be walking out that door and
Yeah.
people will be asking on the radio, what happened? We miss these guys. These are great guys. We're glad that you're listening in to us. You're listening to the Quality of Life Radio Show, in case you're just tuning in. And we were talking on break, a very important question I was asking Bob. And I'm sure all of you that are listening out there would like to know the answer to this very important question. And Robert, that question again is, how much money do you charge your clients to sit down with them and to have this consultation to help them get out of DE? Is it PT?
No,
BT.
Depth.
Depth.
That's like you're in depth.
0.
That's a big number.
Mm-hmm. No, there's no charge. Nope. And we actually 9 times out of 10 can do the program with money they're already spending.
Are you just a nonprofit organization just doing this for fun? Because
No,
of
I
humanity?
get compensated, but I get
Yeah.
compensated by my carriers.
Correct.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Kind of sounds like us, Tom. We,
That's
you know,
exactly
we
right.
charge a big goose egg, but it's we do it for the
All right.
love and pleasure, and then the carrier, if they do business with us, which typically they should do business with us if we're helping
Well,
them,
why?
then the carrier compensates us. So the process, run us through the process when you're obviously they've got to get a bunch of information together. So
Yeah.
what is it you require them before you sit down?
Well, what we do is we schedule the appointment. Once I schedule the appointment, I send them an email with a list of things to bring. And the reason I do that is because once they're done seeing Mark and Joyce, they want to be like Mark and Joyce. So right then and there, they have all the information of the credit cards, the balance, the interest rate, how much they're paying, the minimum payment, that stuff, the mortgage, what's the interest in the principal of the mortgage, that kind of stuff. Then we take that data, I upload it in the system. It takes about a day or so. And then I get what we call a debt management analysis back. And we sit down again. I walk them through that process. If everything's good and they like what they see, then we go into the underwriting process. And that takes usually 4 weeks or so. And they're not obligated until they say, let's go.
Mhm.
So
So what happens in the underwriting process if there's an issue with the health, and do they base it on whether they're preferred, standard, substandard? Do they have substandard ratings where it's approve or no approve?
Well, yeah, I run everything as a standard non-smoker. The program will still work all the way up to a table 4.
Okay.
After that, you might want to look at trying to use somebody else because it might make better sense.
Yeah.
We got to look at the numbers because, again, we're not doing it really for death benefit. We're doing for that cash value.
Fantastic. What would and due to COVID, we know there's been a lot of problems with people having lost their jobs, and especially in the service industry. And they're barely paying bills and keeping their head above water. What would be your number one advice, Bob, that you would give to our listeners out there in that situation?
Well, a lot of times what I'll see is they'll be paying minimum payments, but meanwhile they're funding a 401k or an IRA or something for retirement. And they don't realize that money that's going into that retirement account, as it could be used to pay down that debt, because you're not making 15% if you're paying out 24, 30, whatever's on that credit card. So you're better off taking that money, redirecting it, and pay down the debt first. And they don't see that. And once we show it to them and show the power of doing that, then they understand. And then they say, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Awesome. So how many clients have you helped in this program?
Oh, lots.
Interesting. So what are they? I'm sure that.
I mean, all different types. I mean, we got, like I said, I have got a couple that had a couple $1 million in debt, then a couple that are, $10,000, $20,000 in debt. It'll range based on who it is and what it is.
Is that the minimum, 10,000, or
No.
you don't have a minimum?
No, the only person I can't help is somebody that's paying minimum payments, has no income, has no job, has no money. Can't help.
Right. Okay. So in a situation you have because we know there's a lot of small business owners that are driving out there and listening to us, like landscapers and what
Yep.
have you.
Mhm.
So obviously we know that they are income producing entities. And so do you help those businesses, or is it
Sure.
only that individual, the business owner?
No, what we can do, again, another one that I did in Texas where he had about $2.5 million. 1.2 of it was an SBA loan from COVID, had a 10-year payout.
1.2?
And it was a payout for COVID. Okay. So I went through the SBA part of it. So he also had a 29-year mortgage plus some credit cards. So we combined everything, his personal and his business. We got him out of debt in 8.4 years, including that 10-year note.
Wow.
And had over 400 and some odd thousand in the bank when he was done.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
So how do people
Mhm.
who want to reach out to you and have a consult with you, how do they get a hold of you?
FinancialIndependenceLLC.com.
And your phone number?
732-241-3427.
All right, give it one more time, because we know people are getting out of their chair, they're driving in traffic,
Writing it
they're
down.
coming to the red light, they know they're in 4 lanes of traffic, they're bumper to bumper, they're going to grab their pad, their pen, and they're going to write this number down again.
732-241-3427.
I love that Jersey attitude.
You got it.
Say,
And FinancialIndependenceLLC.com.
call me now.
Call me now.
I like it. All right. So for those of you that are listening out there, give Robert and Vivian, what's your part in this whole? Because you're wearing the debt button too. So tell us what you do as well, real quick.
Away.
Are you also working with Robert, and do you have a license as well?
I don't have a license.
Okay, so you're there to
Retired.
moral support.
I'm moral support. I advertise, I market, I send out Facebook messages, and we're also on Facebook. Find us on Facebook.
And on Facebook, it's under Financial Independence.
It's, Debts Be Gone under Facebook.
Debts Be Gone.
Mhm.
DEBTS. Not
BEGONE.
DEPTS.
No.
Okay. All right. It's 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. And guess what? It's time to move on to the second part of our show. And before we do that, I have some really cool information to share with everyone today about the ARPA. What does that mean, ARPA? Evan, do you know what ARPA is? Well, you're going to find out today. You're going to learn. So every time you on my radio show, you get a
You're-
gold nugget. You take a gold nugget with you home every single
Baseball has been
day.
taking up his mind.
He's sitting there smiling. He's like a sponge. He's absorbing
like
it all.
he's like a kid at the baseball park.
This is great information you guys have
I know.
for the listeners. It really is.
It's.
I mean,
fun.
I'm intrigued by what he does. I really am.
Absolutely.
I may call
Absolutely.
him.
Yeah, it's a great thing. What we have in the insurance industry. This is what we do. I mean, there's solutions, right?
Solution.
And there are sophisticated products out there for consumers to help them in these situations like this. And this is what we do.
That's right. And as complicated as it sounds, and it's hard for us to wrap our heads around it, he simplifies it. And that's what we do. We simplify insurance planning so people can live the
Enjoy
debt-free,
the stress.
debt-free life that they
That's
deserve.
right, the
And
debt-free life.
and the stress-free
Yes.
life, because debt brings stress.
A lot of
Absolutely.
stress.
Absolutely.
A lot of stress. Well, we've got 3 different stories we're going to share. Maybe 2, maybe 3. We'll see how it goes, Evan. Are you a golfer, Evan?
I've played maybe a half a dozen times in my life.
Okay, you're a half a dozen times more than me then.
Yeah.
Are you
Didn't go well.
Yeah,
So that's a no.
that's why I don't play. Are you a golfer, Robert?
Yeah, I shoot about a 72
Okay, so that means
on the front 9.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, and Vivian has clubs. Well, what to beat him on the head with? Is that what it is? So a 79-year-old golfer breaks the Guinness World Record at the driving range. Vivian's probably have seen this. So on March 26th, a 79-year-old Arizona golfer broke a world record and raised money for charity by hitting 1,050 drives at least 200 yards. Mind you, a 79-year-old. Bob Kurtz, whose Guinness World Records include golfing 1,850 holes in 1 week. He's a golfer. Went to the Top Golf Scottsdale driving range on Thursday to attempt to hit 1,000 drives in just 12 hours. He is nicknamed Golf's Iron Man. Said Guinness rules stipulated each of his drives had to travel 200 yards and a minimum of 200 yards and remain within a 35-yard wide grid. The record attempt raised money for a New Leaf, a charity offering domestic violence, homelessness, behavioral health, and youth programs. Kudos to him. Kurtz ended up hitting a total of 1,050 qualifying drives and finished the record attempt 90 minutes before the 12-hour limit. The next one is boat blocks lanes of Florida highway. I'm going to have Evan read this one, and then Tom will read about the French free driver because he wears French underwear. This is perfect for him.
Oui, monsieur.
All right.
I do.
Let's see here. Authorities in Florida said lanes of traffic on a busy highway were blocked for several hours when a 40-foot boat fell off a trailer.
That was a beautiful boat. It
Yeah.
was
40
a beautiful
foot. Was.
boat. And it took the whole lane of traffic.
Yeah. Now, the Florida Highway Patrol said the boat fell from the trailer on I-10,
Ouch.
which is way up in northern Florida area in the Crestview area
Yes.
near mile marker 56 at about 7 o'clock this past Thursday evening. Now, the vessel ended up sideways across the lanes of traffic, causing hours-long delays, and there were no injuries resulting from the boat, which was removed from the scene by FHP.
Thank God
Yeah.
I wasn't traveling to Georgia
Hello?
or Tallahassee.
Absolutely.
Brutal.
I want to know where Captain Stubing was,
Yeah.
or Julie,
You're right.
the
Listen,
cruise director.
the boats are supposed to stay in water, not on the highway. Just
That's like that big super tanker that's
Oh my God,
clogging up
yes.
the Suez, not the Suez Canal.
the Panama Canal, wasn't
no, no, no.
it? No, not the Panama Canal.
It is. Is it
the Suez Canal.
The Suez
Yeah,
Canal.
the Suez.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
yes,
saying
that's
like
right. We just saw it this morning.
100 and I saw 184 ships are waiting.
It was
to
over
get through.
300.
It's now
Over
okay.
300
This
ships
was
were waiting.
news a few days
Amazing.
ago. Unbelievable. All right, it's got the bubs, backed up bowels. Huh? Need to flush it out with some good. Sorry. I remember years ago, radio station, the guy all kept talking about was fecal matter and flush it out. And John Wayne's fecal matter was 2 miles long. It was like,
John Wayne.
sorry about that. French free diver swims 394 feet under ice without flippers.
What?
He didn't have the dolphin with him. So a French freediver plunged into a frigid lake in Finland to swim 394 feet under the ice and break a world record. Arthur Guerin Bowery, 36, a 5-time world champion free diver, plunged into the lake Thursday while wearing a wetsuit, but no gloves or flippers. He swam 394 feet under the ice, spending about 3 minutes submerged. The free diver's feat came just 1 month after Czech free diver David Wenzel swam 265 feet under the ice of a quarry northwest of Prague while wearing only his bathing suit. Evidence from
Did you say his birthday suit?
His birthday suit, yeah. He got out and said shrinkage. Just like everyone remember the Seinfeld episode. Shrinkage. All right. Evidence from Guerin's swim is now being submitted to Guinness World Records.
Amazing. 3 minutes under frigid water, 390.
It's amazing what people will do for.
I think that record will stand a little while.
I think it will.
I don't think too many people are going to
couldn't
go
imagine.
swimming 300 feet in frigid water.
Well, I'd be willing to try maybe 4 feet in 4 seconds, but come on. I mean,
You got to be in the polar bear
that's-
club to jump in that kind of cold water.
Absolutely amazing stuff. All right, folks, we have some information to share with you that's pretty important, actually. So we'll put our straight faces, our serious faces on now, and want to share with you some information that if you're under the age of 65, and if you do or you do not have health insurance, you need to pay attention to this. The president signed into act the ARPA of 2021, which is the American Rescue Act of 2021. So, that has a lot of consequences and a lot of information that is going to help consumers in the country today who have health insurance. So, if you do have health insurance, or if you do not, and if you do not, why not? And Tom, what would be the number one reason why people don't have health insurance?
Many people do not have health insurance is because, number one, they either think or they know that they cannot afford
They
it.
cannot afford
They
it.
cannot afford it. The premium.
And that's the problem today. I mean, with most people that we talk to is the fact that they don't have it in the budget to squeeze out another how many dollars? $400, $500, $800, $1,000, $1,500 a month for their health care. And then on top of it, have a $7,000, $8,000 deductible.
It's like not having insurance at all.
It's craziness, man.
For the regular type of things people need health insurance for.
Absolutely.
Physicals, regular.
So listen, April 1st. When is April 1st?
April Fool's Day.
That's correct. April Fool's Day. So on April Fool's Day, we will not be fooling anybody.
You won't get fooled again.
Because
right.
if you call us, we're going to show you and we can give you a quote due to the new ARPA Act of 2021. That means basically for those Americans who are without health insurance or are paying a lot of money and high premiums for health insurance, they're going to be able to qualify. Every single American, regardless of your income, will qualify for a subsidy. Obviously, there's a minimum income. You have to be at least 100% above poverty level. But the subsidies that the government is providing Americans are going to be raised. So you're going to have higher subsidies. And Tom, what does that mean?
That means many more people will be able to afford it. And I think many more people will get quotes and get insurance, and thus hopefully use the insurance to live a healthier life.
And lower premium.
Lower
so
monthly
Evan,
premium.
who end up getting a Oscar plan, I believe it was, or Cigna.
I got Oscar.
You got Oscar.
Yeah.
So you, even though you already have an ACA plan, and you qualify for a subsidy, now we can rerun the numbers and your subsidy will be higher. Now your premium is going to drop to even lower. So that is for everybody. So keep that in mind that even if you do currently, if you currently are on an ACA, Obamacare type plan, this is for you. If you're not on an ACA type Obamacare plan, this is for you. So at the end of the day or at the end of the night, when you lay your little noggin down on the bed and you kiss your spouse or your dog goodnight or your kitty, you are going to have peace of mind knowing that you're going to be covered with a health insurance policy that maybe you couldn't have afforded in the past.
More money in your pocket.
And that's what we're trying to do. I mean, as
Absolutely.
professionals in the financial insurance services industry, it is our job to help people not to live a stressed life, to help them get out of debt, help them with the right insurance planning solutions, to help them live a debt-free, stress-free life. And I know that Evan certainly knows how to live a stress-free life. You look
Yeah.
at his face. He is
With you guys here, it's always stress free, though. Seriously,
He's
it
the
is.
coolest guy around.
Seriously, I missed being here. With you
we
guys.
missed you too.
We did
We
too.
missed you too, Daddy-O. Listen, it's 20 till actually, well, it's 18 till now. And it's time for our second and last break of our lovely, exciting radio show. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Quality of Life radio show with Gary Owen and Tom Bouvier with Owen Insurance Group. Hang tight. All right, welcome back to the Tom and Gary Show.
Otherwise known as the
Quality of Life
radio show.
And if this is your first time tuning in and listening to us, congratulations! You are alive, and now you are informed, and you can tell your friends and your family and your neighbors and your enemies and your golfing buddy and your
And your fishing buddies.
your fishing buddies. Hey, man, we have a phenomenal radio show in town that's informative, fun, exciting, humorous.
And if you don't like
And
it, you're
serious.
probably
DEAD
AD.
or NDEBT. One of the two.
Oh.
But
Yeah, if you don't like it, you're probably
but it's
dead.
important. But it's important. I mean, what we have is straight talk, right? And transparency, because as we all know, insurance is confusing. It is not a fun topic to talk about. People don't want to talk about insurance. They don't want to deal with it. They want to be like an ostrich
That's right.
and have their heads and keep their heads in the sand. So the more you know, you can become empowered.
That's right. Because ignorance is bliss until something bad happens. And then your ignorance comes back to bite you.
Something bad happens. Tom,
Yeah.
something bad happened to one of your clients. I'm going to talk about that. I want to ask you about that in a second. Before I get there, though, there is an ad. For those of you that are watching on Facebook and on YouTube, our YouTube channel, this was in a Sunday paper, and this is always in every Sunday's paper. And it happens to be an advertisement from a certain Medicare Advantage carrier. If you can see it, you will see. I'm not going to mention the name on the air, but you could probably see it. If you want to hold it up to the camera, go ahead, hold it up to the camera. There you go. So if you're watching on Facebook Live, it's on Facebook Live, and it's also on YouTube. So I will not say it because I do not want to incriminate myself or have the carrier call me up and slap me around. But I brings to your attention because the advertisement says this is for people with Medicare. So if you are listening, or if you read the Sunday paper and you took this advertisement out and you read it, it says that there's John here who's paying over $500 a month for his Medicare supplement and prescription drug plan. On the other side is Marie, who pays no premium, gets more benefits, plus gets money back. What's the difference? That's the question. So prior to someone joining this specific health plan, they say that many of their members used to pay for pricey Medicare supplements and were shocked. They were shocked to learn what we could offer. Medicare Advantage is all we do, and we focus exclusively on Florida seniors. Let our local benefit consultants show you everything you're entitled to. What does that sound like? The football Hall of Famer
Joe Namath.
Yeah, Big Joe said that kind of
It's a
stuff.
Joe Namath plan, right? The
You
hero
may
up in
be
Jersey.
surprised by all that you discover. $0 monthly premium on most plans. 0 primary care visits. 0 copay for Tier 1 preferred generic drugs. $0 for Silver Sneakers fitness memberships. $0 transportation to doctor visits. Plus more and more and more. This is what the advertisement is saying. So I'm just reading to you what the advertisement is mentioning. So Tom, what is the difference? Medicare Advantage and Medicare. So this advertisement seems to be slamming Medicare supplements, that they should get off the supplement and get on a $0 Medicare Advantage plan.
It sure does. Well, with all Medicare Part C or Medicare Advantage plans, these are network based. These are private companies that the government has authorized to put together these Medicare Advantage plans, and they have doctors that are in the network, and they have doctors who are not in the network. Most of these plans, if they're an HMO, you have to have a primary care doctor. You have to get a referral from that doctor. If the doctor orders an MRI or a CAT scan or whatnot, sometimes it could take weeks. And I've had people, they've even waited months fighting with the insurance company to get either an approval, prior authorization, or whatnot. Now, granted, these companies want to make money, so they have to control costs by really kind of, I'm using the C word, controlling how people utilize those benefits. Now, we're not saying that it's, and so the difference between that and a Medicare supplement plan is, with a Medicare supplement plan, you have complete freedom. You are in the driver's seat. You can see any doctor and any provider, any hospital across the country, as long as they accept Medicare. You hand them your Medicare card, your Medicare supplement card. You don't need to get permission from your primary care doctor to go see the dermatologist. You just pick up the phone, make the appointment with their Medicare carrier, or provider rather. You can go see them. So to slam the Medicare supplements and say this is the way to go, it's not. Of course, one shoe does not fit all with Medicare recipients. So don't be deceived by, hey, you want to give up that supplement plan? Well, you're giving up many times a lot of your freedom. And when something happens, when you really need to go to that specialist across the state or that specialist in another state, and your local HMO or even a local PPO that really doesn't have a big network of doctors and is somewhat restricting or can be restricting, does not pony up and really fulfill what the advertisement says, that's when you realize the difference, when something bad happens. And that's happened to clients of ours.
And that's, which is what I want to bring up to you.
Yeah.
And by the way, very well said, very
you.
well spoken, Tom. And I couldn't
you.
have said it better myself. So, and by the way, we're not here to say one is bad, but being an independent national brokerage agency, we're not going to sit here and say, I don't know what your needs are, but this plan is going to be the plan you need to enroll in because this is the only plan I represent. But don't do it, man. I was going to say a bad word on the radio, so thank God I did.
We would be censored.
But what I'm trying to say to you all is this. Just as Bob sits down with his prospects and clients, we have a holistic approach to planning, and we listen to your needs. We find out what your budget is, what you've been on before, what you liked about the plan, what you disliked about the plan, or least liked about the plan, what your budget is, right? So do you want fun? Do you want independence? Do you want the freedom, the flexibility to go to you want to go? Or do you not mind restrictive networks and to get some additional benefits? So again, as Tom so eloquently said, there is not a one-size-fits-all solution. So, but there was a certain individual who came into our office a couple months ago. I swear to God, it looked like Willie Nelson. I swear, it really. I thought I had to take a second look to make sure it wasn't Willie Nelson, and it was one of Tom's clients. And Tom, what happened with that client?
Wonderful gentleman and his wife came in, and they actually had called because they were moving from another state, and they had called their carrier to let them know, and somebody on the other end convinced them to get into in Florida you can't have this plan. They had a Medicare supplement plan, loved it, had it for years, for over 5 or 6 years, and they both had the Medicare supplement, loved the freedom, loved etc. The no network. And they said, well, you move into Florida, you can't have that, but we can give you a plan that won't cost any money. And so, I mean, doesn't everybody love something that doesn't cost any money? And they just went on and on and on how great it was. Well, they got on a Medicare Advantage plan. And again, we're not knocking Medicare Advantage plan,
not at all.
But in this situation, these people had been used to that, and they were actually misled. So, a complaint could have been filed against that agent who told them that information, if indeed that's what they were told. So, unfortunately, the very month that they went on the Medicare Advantage plan, some health issues came with the husband. And I'll tell you what, they were on the phone. Oh my God, what have we done? We cannot believe all the hoops we have to go through to get medical treatment. I mean, we're waiting for an approval, and he needs this procedure done yesterday. Yeah, now. And literally they had to wait like 2 or 3 days before they could get it done. That could have been his life or something, or life crippling. Thankfully, it all worked out. I was able to, because there are some Medicare rules, we were able to switch them back for the next month back to their Medicare supplement. And they sighed a sigh of relief. They thought I was a hero. And
you're my hero, Tom.
Well, thank you.
Mine too.
Gary and I are people's heroes because we help bring Medicare solutions, insurance solutions, health insurance, and solutions that help people live a healthier life.
And we do it from around the world. I mean, around the country. We've had people from Ohio, Pennsylvania. One lady saw us from Minneapolis, and she had a brother that was here in Stewart who needed help, and he got in some trouble and didn't do what he was supposed to do when he turned 65. So, and this is what we do. I mean, it doesn't cost us for our services. If you have questions, you are confused, and you can't sit there and tell me that insurance isn't confusing, because you'd be lying to me, and it's not nice to lie to Brother Nature.
And how can they get a hold of us, Gary? We haven't even mentioned it yet.
How, Evan, do you know how to get a hold of us? Let's see if he knows. After all these radio shows, if he remembers the number.
Starts with 772.
Don't tell it. Don't give him the secret. Oh, look at it. Nope. It's not on there either. So.
Darn it. Well, you're right behind the Key West Diner.
Okay.
Thank
He's
you.
walking the front door to the beautiful posh offices.
You got that part right.
With the beautiful murals on the wall.
Yes, you got that part right.
Yeah.
See?
So what's the phone number?
I don't know it by heart. I'm terrible with numbers. I really
772
210
210
1020.
1020.
Oh.
See,
Or
it came back to him.
Or 772-210-1020.
Mm-hmm.
Either way.
1020 is easier.
Yeah, 210
Yeah,
1020.
I like that.
It's a great number. It slides off the tongue easy enough.
Yes.
And by the way, you can also go to our website, and that is www.owen, not Owens. If you put an S on my name, that will redirect you to a 404 error message. www.oweninsurancegroup.net. Yeah, so not .com, .net. So again, so I think that what Tom and I are trying to impart upon our listening audience and our watching audience today is that there is, and we'll say it again. I mean, we may sound like a broken record, but there is not a one size fits all solution. So your needs, and I heard this. I had a client. She's aging into Medicare. She's been with me for health insurance, and she says, "I'm going with my husband's plan, same thing that he has, his Medicare plan, because he's done the research." I go, "Well, is he a licensed insurance agent?" No. Does he have experience in Medicare insurance? No. So you're going to listen to your husband and go on the same plan that he's on, instead of having an holistic approach to see what's best for you based on your formulary, the drugs that you take, because you just cannot arbitrarily go on a Medicare plan and think it's an end all be all and life is going to be rosy and fine.
Right. Because it would be very uncomfortable for the man to be wearing high heel shoes and for her to be wearing big old clodhoppers. One shoe does not fit all.
It doesn't.
The husband and wife wear different types of shoes, wear different type of undies.
It's a great analogy.
Different type of clothes.
It's a great analogy.
Well, I mean, some might wear the same. They might cross dress. I don't know,
I
but
like it. And we're not here to judge.
we're not here to judge. We love all people.
So at the end of the day, if you need insurance solutions, you have questions, please take a minute or two out of your day, call our office, 772-210-1020. We have plenty of people there in our office who can help answer your questions. If any of my staff, for whatever reason, cannot answer your question, then they will say, "Gary, can you take this call?" And I'll say, "No." No, typically I say yes. And then I answer the questions. If I can't answer the questions, I hand it to Tom. Tom says, "Yes, I'll take it." And then Tom can answer all the questions. So you have professionals who are here, and I'm very honored and I'm very happy to say that after 8 years of my parents being on Medicare, they were on a different plan, on a retiree plan, and the costs keep going up, the deductibles keep going up, the premiums keep going up, and I have kept on telling them that they need to be on a Medicare supplement plan with their health conditions, and they're not getting any younger, and things are starting to break down. They need to be on a supplement plan. We were finally able, because they don't listen to your family. Family doesn't listen to you, man.
Nope.
So, finally, it took me 8 years, but I got it done. And now both of them are on a Medicare supplement, high deductible F plan,
Awesome.
and it's less than $100 a month in premium. So when you see advertisements saying that you're spending $500 for a supplement plan, I say shame on you.
Very rare.
So anyway,
I haven't even met anyone with that.
we're just want you to know, take the time to give us a call. Whatever insurance product it is, life, health, Medicare, disability, long-term care, dental, vision, whatever it is, we are here to help. Cancer and critical illness and so forth. So holy Moses, it's already 11 o'clock.
All right.
So next week, our special guest on the show is going to be Greg Gardner. And Greg is with Wide Angle Productions, Photography, and Tom and I will continue to spout our wisdom and knowledge about the insurance planning solutions. We thank our guest for being with us this morning, Robert. Appreciate you joining us. And we hope that you enjoyed the show. If you have, please share us with your friends, family, and neighbors. If you haven't, you must be dead retired. Remember, Treasure Coast, stay safe, keep healthy, be happy, and most importantly, enjoy your quality of life.